You want to talk about family drama? Forget your reality TV shows. Forget your soap operas, because I'm about to tell you a story that has more twists, more betrayal, and more impossible comebacks than anything Hollywood could ever dream up. This is the story of Joseph, and trust me, by the time we're done, you're going to see that sometimes the worst thing that happens to you is actually setting you up for the greatest thing that could ever happen to you. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning, in the tents of Jacob, somewhere in the land of Canaan. Picture this, an old man, Jacob, who finally has the family he always wanted. 12 sons? Sounds perfect, right? Except there's one massive problem that's about to tear this family apart. Jacob has a favorite, and everyone knows it. His name's Joseph. He's 17 years old, and he's the son of Rachel, the woman Jacob actually loved, the woman he worked 14 years to marry. And Jacob doesn't even try to hide his favoritism. While his other sons are out working the fields, tending the flocks, doing the hard labor, Joseph gets special treatment. He gets to stay close to home. He gets the easy jobs. And then, one day, Jacob does something that makes the favoritism impossible to ignore. He gives Joseph a coat. But this isn't just any coat. This is an ornate robe, richly decorated, probably with long sleeves. The kind of coat that says, "I don't do manual labor." The kind of coat that princes wear, not shepherds. The kind of coat that screams, "I'm Dad's favorite." Every time Joseph walks by wearing that thing, it's like a slap in the face to his brothers. They can't even look at him without feeling the resentment burning in their chests. But Joseph, he doesn't seem to notice. Or maybe he doesn't care, because he's got something else to share with his brothers. Something that's going to make everything so much worse. He's been having dreams, vivid, symbolic dreams. And instead of keeping them to himself, he decides to tell his entire family about them at breakfast one morning. "Hey everyone, listen to this dream I had," Joseph announces, probably with way too much enthusiasm. "We were all out in the field binding sheaves of grain. And suddenly my sheaf stood up straight, and all of your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." You can hear a pin drop. His brothers are staring at him with their mouths open. Did he seriously just say that? Did their little brother just tell them that one day they going to bow down to him? The silence is deafening. Then one of them speaks up, voice dripping with sarcasm. "Are you actually going to reign over us? Are you going to rule us?" The hatred just intensified tenfold. But Joseph isn't done, because apparently one dream wasn't enough. He has another one. And once again, he decides to share it. This time, not just with his brothers, but with his father too. "I had another dream," Joseph says, seemingly oblivious to the death stares he's getting. "This time, the sun, moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me." Now even Jacob is uncomfortable. He rebukes Joseph. "What is this dream? Are your mother and I and your brothers actually going to come and bow down to the ground before you?" Even Jacob thinks Joseph has gone too far. But here's the thing, and Jacob knows this dreams like these don't come from nowhere. Jacob himself had supernatural dreams. His father Isaac had visions. His grandfather Abraham talked with God. So while Jacob rebukes Joseph publicly, the Bible says he kept the matter in mind. He's wondering, could this actually mean something? The brothers, though, they're not wondering. They're seething. They're plotting. And they're waiting for an opportunity. That opportunity comes when Jacob sends Joseph on a simple errand. The brothers are out pasturing the flocks near Shechem, far from home. Jacob wants to check on them, make sure everything's okay. So he sends Joseph wearing that coat, of course, to go find them and bring back a report. Joseph travels about 50 miles north, but when he gets to Shechem, his brothers aren't there. They've moved on to Dothan. So Joseph keeps going, searching for them, completely unaware that he's walking into a trap, because his brothers see him coming from a distance. That colorful coat makes him impossible to miss. And the moment they spot him, the hatred that's been building for years finally boils over. Here comes that dreamer. One of them says, the word dreamer sounding like a curse. And then someone says what they're all thinking. Let's kill him. Let's throw him into one of these cisterns and say a wild animal devoured him. Then we'll see what comes of his dreams. Think about that. These men are so consumed by jealousy that they're ready to murder their own brother. They're ready to look their father in the eye and lie about what happened. They're ready to live with that secret for the rest of their lives, all because of a coat and some dreams. But there's one brother who's different. Reuben, the oldest, hears the plan and his conscience kicks in. He can't let them kill Joseph. But he also can't stop them directly. He's outnumbered, and the mob mentality is strong. So he comes up with a compromise. Don't shed any blood. Throw him into the cistern here in the wilderness. But don't lay a hand on him. Reuben's plan is to come back later, pull Joseph out, and send him home. It's not a great plan, but it's better than murder. The brothers agree, so they wait. And when Joseph finally arrives, probably calling out to them with a smile, not suspecting a thing, they attack. They grab him, they strip off that hated coat, and they throw him into an empty cisterna, deep pit used for collecting water, but currently dry. Imagine Joseph's confusion turning to terror. His own brothers, the men he grew up with. They're attacking him. And now he's at the bottom of a pit, looking up at the circle of sky above, hearing his brothers' voices as they sit down to eat a meal like nothing happened. Like their brother isn't screaming for help just a few feet away. Then Joseph hears something else. It's voices he doesn't recognize. The brothers look up and see a caravan approaching Ishmaelite traders on their way to Egypt. Their camels loaded with spices, balm, and myrrh. And Judah, one of the brothers, has an idea. A terrible, calculating idea. Hey! What do we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Judah says. Come, let's sell him to the Ishmaelites instead. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood. Notice the twisted logic. Shouldn't kill him because he's our brother. But selling him into slavery? That's somehow acceptable? The brothers agree immediately. They pull Joseph up out of the cistern. And for 20 shekels of silver, the price of a slave, they sell their 17-year-old brother to strangers. Joseph is begging them, pleading with them. Years later, the brothers will remember how distressed he was when he pleaded with us for his life. But in this moment, they ignore his cries. They take the money. They watch as the traders bind Joseph and lead him away. Joseph keeps looking back at his brothers, probably thinking this is some cruel joke, that they'll call him back any second. But they don't. They just stand there, watching him disappear over the horizon, headed for Egypt. Headed for slavery. Headed for a future he never imagined. Now, the brothers have a problem. They need to explain where Joseph is. So they take that beautiful coat, the symbol of everything that went wrong, and they slaughter a goat. They dip the coat in blood until it's soaked and unrecognizable. Then they bring it back to their father. Found this, they say. Their faces arranged in expressions of concern. Examine it and see if it's your son's robe. They can't even say Joseph's name. Jacob takes one look at that bloody coat and collapses. It's my son's robe, he cries out. Some ferocious animal has devoured him. Joseph has surely been torn to pieces. Jacob tears his clothes in grief. He puts on sackcloth. And he mourns for his son with a depth of sorrow that breaks everyone around him. His other sons and daughters try to comfort him, but he refuses to be comforted. I will go down to the grave mourning for my son, he says, and the brothers have to watch this, day after day, living with what they've done, living with the lie. Meanwhile, Joseph is being dragged toward Egypt in chains, everything he knew being stripped away with every mile. His home, his family, his father's love, his dreams of greatness, all of it gone in a single day. He's nobody now. Just another slave in a caravan, headed for a foreign land where he doesn't speak the language, doesn't know the customs, and has absolutely no one to help him. The dreamer who saw stars bowing to him is now the lowest of the low. And if this were any other story, this is where it would end. Tragedy, betrayal, a promising life destroyed by jealousy and hatred. But this isn't any other story, because Joseph's story is just beginning, and those dreams, they're not dead, they're just waiting. And what happens next is going to prove that sometimes God's greatest miracles start with the worst moments of your life.